And what we're seeing in Gaza is destruction of healthcare facilities, deaths of health professionals and civilians, which are in breach of Geneva Conventions and humanitarian law. This is not an isolated example, of course. We've seen it's a common theme of conflicts everywhere. It just seems to be getting more and more a feature of conflict. How do we stop this from happening? How do we hold people accountable? How do we make sure that the existing laws and conventions are adhered to?
As you said, it's not just Gaza. Gaza is a small and very intense place, and there, of course, we see the magnitude of the problem. But as I mentioned before, our reports from Gaza and our reports these days, and what happened and has been happening in Sudan for more than a year now, tell more or less the same stories. Yeah. That there are severe atrocities happening, violations of the international humanitarian law, attacks in the hospitals. And I understand that at this moment, and we suffer by this impunity. And we should not accept that, we should not tolerate that, we should not use these different standards, because what we say as MSF is exactly what we said in Ukraine, and this is what we say these days in Gaza, and we want to tell also in Sudan. Yeah. So having had a different approach by the international community in Ukraine, nothing in Gaza, how are we supposed to be lecturing, if I am allowed to say so, the warring parties in Sudan on respecting the IHL? Yes. That's in practical what happens. Yeah. And
it's a hypocrisy, isn't it?
It is. And you asked the right question. I think that's why MSF is also here, and why MSF will be joining any kind of alliance of goodwill, any coalition that will try these days to show that an IHL should be respected. There are laws of war, and these are the only framework that enable us to work in all these places. And we want the states to hold themselves and the others accountable. Yeah. We are not there, but we should not start reinventing the wheel. We don't need more statements and other commitments, other than just the strong alliance and willingness by all of them to hold itself accountable.